My name is DeVonte Wright, Master Barber, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do a bald fade, proper techniques and tips. The first step, you can do one or two things. You can either cut the hair to the desired length, or you can bald out the bottom of the hair to where you want the fade to start at. Me personally, I usually start by balding the hair out, then I cut the hair down to the desired length. After I get the hair balded, I always go back and clean it up to make sure it's a nice bald fade. You want, as a professional barber, you want to make sure the hair is neat in every aspect that you do, from balding to edge up. After I bald the hair, I go back and I make my first guideline. You usually do 2 lines. Me personally, I do a line to where the primary fade starts at the bottom and then works up into the bulk of the thickness of the hair. After I knock out that first primary line, I usually go back with my edgers, and it's always a hard line that you want to knock out. You really just feather the bottom out, you feather it to knock it out lightly, so you don't want to make a new line. So you usually knock that out. Once I get the primary line out, I go up to the main bulk of the hair, and after I usually work that out, I start with my 2, and you can range from anywhere to a 2 to a half. And what that 2 does is, the top of the hair you don't want to cut anymore because you don't want to raise the fade, but it lightly gets the bulk out. You feather it out, then you use the 1 to go back and actually fade the hair in. So you alternate between a fade, you alternate between the 1 and the half. And what that does is you use the feathering technique. With your hands, you never really hard line it, you always feather, comb, feather. It's usually a one stroke, 1 cut motion. So you comb 1, stroke 1, comb 1, stroke 1. So after you get the fade, you always go back. After you fade, always go back, whether you fade, bald, and edging, and you check your work. A good, great barber, amazing barber, or a barber who cares about his work and cares about his image, he always makes sure his fade is nice. Do the best of your ability. Use your camera phone, take your camera out, take pictures, take videos. That picture and video will always show you what your naked eye missed. And once you go back and you check everything, then you move on to the edge up. But always check that fade. Little spots. Don't be lazy and just say, well, it's going to be okay. No, check everything and make it crispy. Once you know for a fact that the fade is great or good or nicely faded and even, you move to the edge up. Once you get to the edge up, what I do is I use gel, a hot rag, a fresh razor, a comb, and a blow dryer. The first step for me is to apply the gel. Then I go to the sink, I get the hot rag, and I try to get it steaming. You know, you don't want boiling water, but you get a hot rag, you can use a microwave, put it on 15 seconds if you have one at your disposal. You put the rag on the edge up for 10 to 15 seconds. Let the hair follicles get hot. Let the hair follicles warm up. It makes it soft and it cuts crispy. So once I do that, I remove the rag and I start the edge. Most of the times I start in the center of the head because you want to make an even edge up. So once you start in the center, you can use that as your guideline on both sides. Once you get to the corners of the edge up, I want to say a good angle is about 90 to 75. You don't want a 45-degree angle because that's too angled. You don't want to go past 90 because anything 95 to 100, that's like this. So a nice box edge up is anywhere from 90 to 75, I want to say. So after you get through edging the hair up, you go back and you take your blow dryer and you comb over the hair. because there's always going to be hair that curl back over, but that blow dry stiffens the hair once you put that gel on. And then after I finish with the razor, I go back with the clippers and I get all the loose fine hairs. Once I go back and get the loose fine hairs with the blow dryer, I go back once again with the razor and I clean up my work. It's always important to clean your work. That's what great barbers do, because you care about your work. When your clients see you care, they come back and they bring you more. Today's bonus tip is the Barber Magic pencil. I use it on a lot of my clients. It really helps. It's not necessary, but it really helps the cut look crisp and defined. Once you put my tip is most barbers use it before the edge. I actually use it when I'm totally done with the haircut. Once I cleaned everything up, I go back with the Barber Magic pencil. I apply it on the edge up. I never touch the edge up. I apply it right on the border or the perimeter of the edge up, and I use my clippers and I brush it up on it. It's kind of like applying makeup in a sense for ladies, but it is for hair, and it makes the cut look amazing. Don't over apply it because then it looks fake, but if you use the right tone, it'll look amazing. So once you totally finish the cut, you go back, you proofread your work, you look at everything you've done, you go back, you brush over the hair with your masters or whatever clipper you use, and you get all those loose hairs. I think it was a barber one time, he calls them roach legs because they look like little small fine hairs. You clean that up, man. All that matters. Ladies, men, gentlemen, clean that up to make that cut look defined. What we're gonna notice is, what people don't notice is, the crispier the cut is up close, you see that stuff, man, from far away. So just make sure your cut is clean it up crispy, make sure your tools are sanitary, and that's how you do a fresh bar fade.